Hey, Glenn,
Hey, Warren, how you doing?
welcome.
Thank you, sir. How's everybody?
Good.
Good.
Well, we got one holiday down and I think 7 to go.
Hey, Tracy, I just sent you the link.
Okay, I'm uploading it now. Let me go verify it's working.
People you don't know. You hear voices?
Okay, you're good to go.
All right, so we'll call the meeting of the Medical Psychology Advisory Committee meeting to order, November 1st, 2024. Let's identify the participants. Warren Lowe,
Chris Rochelle.
Glenn Alley,
Darla Burnett.
Sorry, Rob Dames.
Van, are you there?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I
Okay.
was supposed to be. Yeah,
All right.
Vince Colada, I'm here at the board, and Miss Wilton has joined us.
All
And I
right.
have on the staff Miss Amy, who is our new staff replacing Olivia.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, Amy.
Hello.
Anybody else present? Teresa, are you present? Ms. Lockhart?
I'm here.
Okay, good, good. All right. Any public comments, Van?
At the present time, sir, no public comments.
Okay. This meeting was requested as an emergency meeting to deal with an investigation and to save Ms. Lockhart some time so she won't have to sit through the whole meeting. Can we go into executive session and deal with that investigation? Is that appropriate?
I would move that we go into executive session.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Uh,
All right,
Okay, just give us a second to move you into the executive session.
sure.
Teresa, if you press the button on the right-hand corner of your screen, you'll get there quicker.
You want me to move over? You want me to stay out?
You could stay.
All right. I know they used to leave me out for a reason, so you'd have one person out here.
You made it, Robert.
Hey! Man, you stupefy me with this IT stuff.
Like Star Trek, beam me up.
I'm waiting for that already. I'm just hoping it's the right breed who.
Do we have a motion on the investigative matter that Ms. Teresa Lockhart has brought to us?
Have a motion that the medical psychologist in the case reviewed was practicing outside of the scope of medical psychology.
Second.
Can I just firm it up for the committee, investigative committee? The Medical Psychology Advisory Committee voted unanimously that the medical psychologist in this complaint was operating outside her scope of practice. Or maybe we shouldn't use the female pronoun, just operating outside the scope of practice. Is that acceptable?
Yeah.
All right.
Do we need to specify the complaint? Is there a number or a complaint number or something like that?
Teresa, why don't you give them the case number, please?
2019-166. What's in the minute?
19-166, okay. I gotta put this in minutes.
Okay, do we have a second?
So,
Second, it was made.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Teresa, do you have anything else that you need from us?
No, thank you very much.
Okay, thanks for consulting with us.
Thank you.
You don't have to stay around for the rest of this for sure.
Okay, thank you.
And Dr. Lowe, you have no public comments at this time.
Okay. This is a shortened meeting. Well, not a shortened meeting, but it's a time limited meeting. And we have to be through by 3 o'clock. So what I'd like to do is go back in executive session if no one objects and go through the 3 applications that we have. And then if we have some time, we can come back and talk about that new business. The new business is really, we can probably cover all of it in 15 minutes. It's just points of information more than anything. We're not going to transact any business or make any decisions about any of those topics, but I wanted to bring them up just so that people could be thinking about it. But I want to get these applications reviewed if we can. So if that's okay, will somebody make a motion to go back into executive session?
So moved.
Second. All right, all in favor. All right.
All right, give me 1 second. Same thing. You can press the button and it'll get you there quicker.
all right.
Okay.
Okay, back in regular session. Do we have,
I would make a motion that we table application 113187 until there's clarification of his medication prescribing and CME. I would also, in that motion, recommend tabling of application 287356, again pending CME clarification and additional CME if necessary.
give me
and
that
I-
number again, Glenn, please.
It is 287356.
And you have no public comment at this time, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, and
Okay.
I would move that we accept the application of number 113662.
Second the motion.
Glenn, that first number, 113187.
That's correct.
Okay. All right, moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Van, when is the next board meeting?
The next board meeting is December the 16th.
So they should go before the board, or Chandler should go before the board then.
Yes.
Okay. So just with, we didn't even do old business yet, but let's
We
do
haven't
old
done the
business.
minutes yet either.
I'm sorry?
We haven't done the minutes yet either.
Oh, that's right, we haven't. I thought we did. We didn't do that? Okay.
Nope.
Did everybody have a chance to review the minutes from the, was that March meeting?
I think it was May.
March
March 15th.
15th.
March.
Yeah. Any corrections, any revisions to the minutes?
Nope.
You want to make a motion, Darrell?
I motion that we accept the previous meetings minutes as written.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so old business revisions to the Medical Psychology Practice Act. Our bill to clean up the Practice Act to get rid of language which no longer applied, to clarify some confusing language in the law, to allow medical psychologists to receive referrals from PAs and NPs, and to clarify that medical psychologists applying for advanced practice did not have to have a degree from the Louisiana State Board of Examiners of Psychologists. The bill was sponsored by Dustin Miller, represented by out of Opelousas, sailed through just very swimmingly, had a lot of support from the legislature. And I wanted to thank Van and Patricia for their support and guidance and suggestions as we tried to clean up the law. And I think we did a pretty good job of it. So new business. These are just things that we've got to be thinking about. Because we've changed the law, we're going to have to change the rules. And Van tells me we're in the queue to have the rules revised. And do we have a chance to look at those, Van, before they go to the register?
No, oh, you're gonna have a chance to look at them before we even submit them to the board, but you're like I said, there's some things that have bumped you down even further. I apologize, but the one thing you can assure yourself of, the law always trumps the rules. And so whatever the law says you can do, and we'll finish writing the rules and I hate to say it when we get to it, but there are a couple of things that are in the way right now and we're pressing those issues. But we're gonna do it, I promise you.
Yeah, that's okay. We have the law to guide us. We'll get more specifics with the rules, but we've gone over the referral process from NPs and PAs several times with the LAMP group. We have not been requesting registration of psychological technicians, psychometricians, and that's part of the law that people who employ those personnel are required to register their names and their education with the board. And can we make that a part of the renewal process, Van?
Yes, we certainly can.
Okay, I think we should do that. Something came up about a public records request, and so we need to pay attention to that. We just kind of fell through the cracks.
I didn't, so our current law under the medical board says we're supposed to register our technicians?
Yes.
I didn't think it did, okay.
I'm not aware of that, no.
I was not either.
The psychology law does, but not, I don't think the.
The law does too.
It does?
It
Yeah.
does.
Warren and I were not happy when we found it, but we did find it.
Yeah. No, it's there. Okay, revision of applications, because we changed the classification of medications used to treat diagnosable mental disorders from major psychotropics and major antidepressants. We've eliminated those categories. And the new law allows us to also include things like anxiolytics and hypnotics. But we've got to come up with a scheme to capture that information that's meaningful. And it, you know, as I think about it, say someone treats children, younger children, 12 and under, they're not likely going to be prescribing a lot of antipsychotics, hopefully, maybe occasionally, but not, I think that would be rare. And a lot of their practice might be limited to antidepressants and stimulant medications. So we want people to have a broad knowledge of the various types of medications that are available, but we've got to figure out a way to capture that in the application process for advanced practice. So please be thinking about that. If you have any ideas about how we're going to change that application, please let me know, because we need to get that done.
Are you now, are you looking for like very, very broad categories such as antipsychotics, mood stabilizers, sedative hypnotics, anxiolytics? I mean, those are the major categories. And when we work with the child residents, what we just do is talk about, okay, yes, obviously, you know, you can prescribe them, but look for whether or not the drug, although it's an antidepressant or an antipsychotic or an anxiolytic or whatever, is approved by the FDA for use in children or adolescents, you know, that kind of stuff. But it's still the same category.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Because look, it's really kind of a joke. You talk about antipsychotics, but these are, and just like the antidepressants, they've become, you know, like the Swiss Army knife. You can use lots and lots and lots of other things. So you just kind of say mood stabilizers, which could be anticonvulsants like lamotrigine or Depakote or, you know, that Tegretol. But mood stabilizers could also be antipsychotics. We already know that Abilify and Seroquel are frequently used as adjuncts to antidepressants. So if you really want to look broad, you could say mood stabilizers, blah, blah, blah.
So Warren, in particular, you're talking about, like, we currently have a form people fill out And it says treatment of a minimum of 100 patients, including 25 or more involving the use of major psychotropics and 25 or more, including the use of major antidepressants. So we want some language that says they can have 100 patients who had this broader range of possible medications they've prescribed, but maybe not having the numbers 25 and 25, some other way of like saying with at least a third of this or some, that's what you're thinking about, some other way to word that.
Because there is no such thing as major antidepressants.
And that's why we got rid of it.
And there's no
Yeah.
such thing as a major antipsychotic. Now you can have first generation antipsychotics, you can have second generation antipsychotics, and now we even have a third generation Cobenfy. So yeah, it's like, okay, but we don't
No.
divide it into major and minor or any of that.
Yeah, what I was thinking was, is I still haven't worked out how it would translate into some form, but that people would have to have 25 patients from category A, which might include 2 or 3 kind of related medications, and 25 patients from category B, which might have some other related medications, or even a third category if there's only a couple in each category. But I haven't worked that out yet.
Have you thought about maybe looking at it from a slightly different perspective? And that is that you have a certain number of patients being treated for a mood disorder, which could be depression, mania, bipolar 1, bipolar 2, or a psychotic disorder, which could be bipolar with psychosis or schizophrenia or schizoaffective. But instead of using the medication category, use the psychiatric category.
How would that work with kids? The kids part is the one that gives me the kind of hang up. If someone is a real child specialist.
Sure. Well, I mean, they're still going to be treating a mood disorder or an ADHD disorder or a psychotic disorder or an anxiety disorder. It's just that you need to say that the medications are indicated, whichever medications they use, in a pediatric mood disorder or a pediatric psychosis because look, that the antipsychotics, at least 2 of them, are approved for use in very young children who have ASD.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So sometimes you have to kind of look at it more instead of from the medication itself to, all right, what psychiatric disorders are they treating with medication?
So Warren,
Gotcha.
would you like us just to kind of think on that and maybe send you some ideas?
Please. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Please think about it, because I really don't have it worked out.
And Warren, the revised law doesn't specify any particular number of category, right?
Right. Right.
Well, because like, look, a lot of people, as you saw from the applicants today, will use an antidepressant to treat an anxiety disorder. And so if we limit ourselves to, okay, you have to use antidepressants, how do you then explain, well, you can use it for anxiety, you can use it for depression, you could use it for, all kinds of things.
Yeah. If we could get the right mix of categories, like antidepressants and anxiolytics go well together. I don't know. I'll have to, but I'm going to be thinking about it, but please be thinking about it also. And if you come up with any ideas, let me know.
Well,
Okay.
my suggestion would simply be to take a look at, if we can, I mean, it doesn't have to be a definitive medication class, or could we re-examine the possibility of saying 25 patients with a mood disorder, 25 patients with ADHD, 25 patients with anxiety instead, just to throw it out.
Yeah. There's always going to be somebody that says, I don't treat ADHD. I'm an adult psychiatrist. If somebody, even an adult, comes in with ADHD, I'm going to refer him to someone else because I don't like ADHD patients.
Sure.
So I don't know. I see what you're saying, and maybe there's a way to do the combination of both. let's think about it.
Mhm.
Okay, next item under new business is basic life support. As you know, we're supposed to maintain basic life support certification. It renews every 2 years. Van brought this up that we're not really reporting that form that's easy for the board to identify. Most of the MPs use it as part of their CE, or CE, sorry, C, not CME. And so they're reporting it, but it's, you know, if someone wanted to see if your BLS was up to date, Darla, they'd have to flip through your renewal subscription and look at the courses that you took. And it's not on this year because I took it the year before. And so I wonder if that too can't be included on the initial application. Well, that doesn't give us a yearly renewal.
It would have to be
Yeah,
on CE
renewal.
broker.
Yeah, let's put it on the renewal. Can that be
It could
done?
just be a checkoff box on the renewal.
Yeah, with the date.
Now, I don't know if this,
Let me ask you this. If you submit your certificates, we can track what their date is. I'm pretty sure I can work with CE Broker for the BLS, and I'll be happy to do that because that will make it much easier for you all and easier for us. More cost effective in monitoring. All you have to do is when you take the course, upload it or have whoever gives you the course, send it to CE Broker. And then for 2 years, you'll be good. And all we have to do is adjust for that particular thing. And I'll be working with CE Broker to see if they can do that. And I'll let you know if they can't. But I think that's going to be very doable.
Okay.
You know, one quick thing about CE Broker, Van, since you brought it up. When people had problems, they would call the support system at CE Broker for help. And we're told, and I know this to be a fact because my office manager, when she was doing mine, called the support line at CE Broker and was told, we'll help you, but you have to join or pay so much a year for us to do that. And it was my understanding that that was not the case.
It really depends upon the help you're seeking. They have categorized their help into what they supply. For example, if you take the free and you say, I'd like to see my CE record back, can you print me a transcript? No, they won't do it, but you can do it. They will. In other words, their level of help is based upon what you pray in terms of, but basic support in terms of if you're trying to figure out how to upload something, they're supposed to tell you whether you're free or not. If you go into the area of, I want to go back 3 years and get something, that's not part of basic support. That is something that you pay extra for. But in terms of what you need to meet our requirements, it's supposed to all be free and it's supposed to provide it. So I'll need to know kind of what you exactly the question you asked, because I'll deal with them if that's the case.
Okay, this is the most common problem, Van, is someone uploads all their certificates. They fill out the categories of CME, CE, and ethics, and then press the button and they think they're good, and then they come back, it's not approved, and they don't know why it's not approved. I mean, everything looks good.
Okay, well, now remember that you all gave me a list of approved providers, okay? And if the approved provider, you know, this is where it gets difficult. If the XYZ approved provider changed its name to X and Y and Z instead of XYZ, that's not what a computer is going to recognize. So if they change their name, that could be the problem. But again, I'll look into it, Warren, and let you know what's going on. I'm happy to do that. We talk to CE Broker a lot to fix problems, so I'll put that on my list of things to do.
I don't think it's ever involved the sponsor of the CME. I think what it's involved primarily is the ethics thing. We were told, or some people were told, that the CE broker would not accept the LSBME rules and law exam
What?
to meet the ethics requirement. And
We could fix that. That's one phone call.
okay, because I mean, I think more and more people are starting to use that as their ethics requirement, but then they're being told that it doesn't fit for whatever reason.
I can fix that probably by Monday afternoon, even before the election takes place.
Okay, really, there were much fewer problems this last renewal period than the previous year, where there were many, but there were really just a handful, but they were all basically about the same and involved ethics.
Well, like I said, sometimes the message doesn't always get where we want it to be.
Sure.
And we work with them, and we have made great strides. I mean, we just to give you an idea of how cost effective this has been for us. We now do all 38,000 renewals with one FTE.
Wow.
So we just have to tune the system up. And actually, we were recognized at the last Federation meeting for being the first people to be using a rudimentary form of AI to be doing this, and it's catching on. So
Great. The last item I put on there is about the future of regulatory boards in Louisiana, and this is interesting.
yes.
The governor has indicated that he wants to streamline, is the word they're using a lot, streamline various boards by combining boards under one super board or omnibus board. And I don't have any direct information about it. Michael Eccles, a senator from Monroe, was the one that floated this a few months back. Maybe it was during the regular session or shortly thereafter that this was going to be looked at. Bud talked to Senator Eccles this morning, and Eccles said he hadn't worked on it in 90 days. But Bud spoke to one of the governor's right-hand people, one of the people he really relies on, and the one that Bud said will handle this if it in fact occurs. And this young man from New Orleans said that, yeah, it is on the table. The details have not been worked out yet, but it looks like it could happen. And Louisiana is using Texas, Florida, and North Carolina as their models. And in Texas, for example, they have I don't know whether they call it I think they do call it a mental health board. And under the mental health board are LPCs, marriage and family counselors, social workers, and psychologists. And I have, because this rumor, I guess you could call it, or this notion that this might happen in Louisiana, that some boards may be sunsetted and combined under a super board, is out there. I have had calls from several people in LPA wanting to know if the medical board would license psychologists. And they're worried. They don't like what's coming down. Their board is having a number of problems. You might have seen that a federal lawsuit has been filed as a direct result of some legislation that LPA was involved in. And it's supported by the Pelican Institute, who is behind a lot of this policy reconstruction. The stated goal is to promote free enterprise and building a healthy economy in Louisiana. But it's a very conservative group, and nobody knows what's going to happen. I don't know if you want to say any more about it, Van. I just want us to be aware that that's a possibility that's out there. Personally, I'm not speaking for anybody else. So I can't see that the legislature or anyone else is going to mess with the medical board. The medical board already has what, 12 or 13 different professions.
15.
How many, Van?
15,
15. So I don't think the medical board is going to be asked to add additional disciplines to their already bulging at the seams number. But it is something that could happen, and I just think we have to be vigilant, be careful about our own vested interest in the medical board. No medical psychologist that I know wants to leave the medical board. So
I will tell you that you're correct about the Pelican Institute. It really, we have been very able to work with the reasonable people in the legislature that work with the Pelican Institute, and they have really, Ms. Wilton and I have cultivated some great relationships, and with the forefront legislators who are looking at all of this licensing and deregulation, but they're very clear with us that this is not about healthcare as much as it is, do we need to license florists? Do we need to license interior decorators? Do we need to license hair braiders? Do we need to all that kind of stuff? So again, they're what we have always been able to do is they make these broad sweeping things, all boards and commissions shall. And we say, wait a minute, do you want to take these life affecting healthcare issues and put them like you do hair braiders or electricians or whatever it is? And they all kind of really, and the leaders all say, yes, you're right, Dr. Pop, thank you for reminding us. And they move it, they take us out. But the key is that we have those relationships. When you called me and told me about the LPA, I referred you to the people at the Surgeon General's office. I don't know if y'all talked to him or not, but we're not in a position to decide. It's going to be LDH and the Surgeon General with their leadership in the legislature.
well, I'm going to be interested to see how it all works out. I think it's going to be an interesting session next year. I don't have anything else. Does anybody have anything? One last thing. Van has asked me to submit dates for our Medical Psychology Advisory Committee meetings a year in advance. So I have arbitrarily chosen the third Friday of the month at 1 p.m. For our meetings, but I say that with the understanding that I've actually not checked the calendar carefully to be sure that that doesn't conflict with holidays like Good Friday or something like that. But I'm going to ask our new assistant, Amy, who's been very helpful and capable in getting this together very quickly, this meeting, to send to you the list of dates for the coming year. Now, that doesn't mean we have to have 6 meetings a year. If we don't have any business to transact, we'll just cancel that month's meeting. That makes sense to everybody?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, I will have Amy get those dates out to you. You can just put them on your calendar and we'll be ready for next year.
Sooner
Motion
is
to,
better for you too.
Any
I'm sorry?
public comment, Van?
No public comment. 1 second, I'll double check to be sure. I had looked just a few minutes ago. I don't know if anything flew through. No, nothing yet.
Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you
Happy
all for your time and devotion to
Thanksgiving,
this
Merry
endeavor.
Christmas, Happy New Year to everyone. We'll meet
Great
again.
holidays, guys.
Happy Rosh Hashanah. Good yuck.
Thanks,
Bye.
everybody.
Robert, give me
Take
a
care.
call.
It's
I went to
free
Newman,
video.
Van. I went to Newman.
Robert, give me a call.
Thanks, everyone.
All right. God bless.
Bye-bye.
Take care, guys.
I know.
Darla.
Thanks. Ed.